So there's a couple of stories that are coming out of London that have been developing over these past few days. I've been keeping my eye on them, waiting for updates, and we do have some, so I wanted to share these stories with you guys. Now, for this first one, we've got to head over to Leyton in East London, and there's reports coming out that a man was shot dead on Wednesday morning. But first, we've got to rewind a few hours before that, and at around 5:50 PM on the 31st of August 2021, police had been called to reports of an assault on Leyton High Road. When they arrived, a teenager was found injured after being smashed around his head with a hammer. He was initially treated at the scene, but was subsequently taken to hospital as a priority, where even until today, his condition still remains unknown. But as it stands right now, no arrests have been made, but inquiries are ongoing. According to witnesses at the scene, they told My London News that they had seen a victim, quote, bleeding on the ground after a group of people had been fighting. It would then only be 7.5 hours after this incident that the police were called to the Beaumont Estate in Leyton to reports of gunshots nearby. When they arrived at the scene, they found a man believed to be in his late teens suffering from gunshot injuries, and he would sadly go on to be pronounced dead at the scene around 2:30 AM. It's unsure whether both of the incidents are linked together, but the police are in fact investigating that line of inquiry. But as of right now, that's all we know, and it hasn't been confirmed if the two are linked. Witnesses to the shooting have told reporters that there was roughly 60 people at a street party where this shooting took place, and another witness would go on to say at around 2 AM they had been awoken by police and heard a helicopter above. They continued by saying that apparently the suspect was in their garden and the police were asking if they could search it, but by the time they had got there he had escaped. So again, in the latest updates from this situation, no one has been arrested, but inquiries are ongoing. As of right now, the victim hasn't been named, so unfortunately I can't give you a formal name, but I do want to send my condolences over to his family and friends, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on this situation when more information starts to develop. But moving on to our next story, and for this one we've got to head over to Harrow, where there's been reports that 5 people were stabbed in the same incident on Tuesday the 30th of August 2021. At around 4 AM, emergency services had been called to Railway Arch, close by to the Civic Centre, to reports of a multiple stabbing incident. When they arrived, they did in fact find 5 people suffering from stab injuries, and they were all described to be either in their late teens or early 20s and were all taken to hospital. Originally, 2 of the men involved were said to have been in a serious but stable condition, while 2 other men and a woman had non-life-changing or non-life-threatening injuries. However, the Metropolitan Police have now come out to say that all victims will go on to make a full recovery after their injuries were non-life-changing or non-life-threatening. This was in the early hours of the morning, so understandably there was no witness accounts given to reporters. But again, as it stands right now, no one has been arrested in connection with this incident, but inquiries are ongoing. So this is 3 separate investigations now where no one has been arrested. And this just goes to show you how complex these police investigations can be sometimes. And although arrests aren't made initially, that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be made over the next few weeks. Of course, a lot of the time we do see people going on to be arrested within the first couple of days, but just because no one has been arrested or charged as of yet over any of these incidents, that doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. That's what we have to remember. Of course, all 3 are very serious incidents, so they will be at the top of the police's priority to investigate. And again, if I do get any updates out of these situations, I'll be sure to keep you guys posted on these ones. It'll more than likely be on my Instagram first before I make a video on it. So if you're not following me over on my Instagram, I'll leave it linked down in the description. Be sure to drop me a follow. But give the video a like for more crime related content like this, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It's been me, Abe Huncho, and I'll see you in the next one.